All right, let's hear it for matrix multiplication. And the crowd goes wild. This all gets down to rows by columns. I mean, that's how you name a matrix, and that's how you multiply by a matrix. Rows by columns. And that's sometimes better known as RC Cola in the business. So what you do is if I'm going to do matrix C times matrix D, I look at this and go, is this even possible? Well, it has 2 rows and 3 columns. Well, D has 3 rows and 3 columns, so 3 rows going across, 3 columns going up and down. If these two numbers are a match, then woohoo, you can multiply these together. So these two match, you cross them out, and your solution matrix is going to be a 2 by 3 because these are the 2 numbers that you have left over. So I would set up a cell that creates 2 rows and 3 columns because that, my friends, is a 2 by 3 matrix right there. So that's what I know my answer is going to look like. Now the little tricky hiddenness with this one is you cannot use your calculator because as soon as you have a variable like this, your calculator cannot do it. So you can't just type these in and go matrix C times matrix D. It doesn't work because your calculator assigns a value to X. It doesn't keep it as an X like you're supposed to. So you take row 1, so I take all these numbers times column 1 of this one. Well, there's going to be a match there because 4 is going to match with 5. So I do 4 times 5. This times this, and then I do negative 2 times negative 8. So I'm going to add that to negative 2 times negative 8, and I'm going to add that to 1 times 3. Add that to 1 times 3. And then when I do that, I get 20, 16, and 3, and 20, 16, and 3 makes 39, so 39 is my first entry. And you have to go through these one at a time, and it's based on which location you're at. Now you need to remember some matrix notation. So this one right here is element or entry, row 1, column 2. Row 1, column 2 is where that is sitting. So then I take row 1 now times column 2. I do this same process that I'm repeating. The 4 would match up with the negative 3, the negative 2 with the 6, the 4 with the 1, and then I would multiply and add all those together, and I would get negative 20. So you can take some time to work on it, get them figured out, and you should be in good shape. Sometimes they don't work. So if you look at this one right here, A times D, well, A is a 3 row by 1 column, and D was a 3 by 3. Dang, the 1 is here, so I'm trying to do a 3 by 1 times a 3 by 3. Uh-oh, those don't match. Can't do this. The answer to this one is not possible. Okay, it's not even possible. You can't do the matrix multiplication down there. It doesn't work. You can do D squared. So a little bit of precautionary answer about D squared. You don't just take D, which is up here, which are these numbers, and just square each entry. You'd be wrong because remember, if it's D squared, that means it's D times D. So I have to take row 1 times column 1 to get my answer. Now it just so happens that this is a 3 by 3 and this is a 3 by 3, so the answer to your D squared is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix, so it's going to look something like that. It's going to take a little time to make that calculation, that's for sure. So you end up with, here are the solutions to help you compare if you've gone through and attempted these.